start this Marley arc, and expectations have been really high for chapter 100. The important question is, did this chapter do it for you? The biggest thing I have to mention first is Eren's declaration of war. If you recall from chapter 99, I talked about how Eren now was making himself to be the bad guy. In this chapter, Eren even mentions that himself. And what does Eren decide to answer this festival with? Of course, it's that grand declaration of war. So right at the end, we haven't seen a Titan in like forever. Especially Eren. He fully unleashes the attack on Titan. Or I guess Attack Titan I should say. And would you look at that? Willy just got torn to freaking shreds. I know there were some crazy theories out there that thought that Willy was Armin. Does anyone still think that? I think Willy just died. There's like a 98% chance this guy is dead. Although wait up, Reiner did survive in the past in this half-assed way. So who knows, 2% chance that Willy's still alive. But besides Willy, let's not forget about everyone else. In the previous chapter, Eren was pretty much threatening Reiner with all the people inside the building. All those people are now fracked. There's no way around it. And not to mention all that debris coming into the audience. Just with this show of force, I don't know, maybe 100, 200 people just died? And for the most part, these are people that are innocent. But anyway, the big question that should be on everyone's mind right now should be, was Eren correct in doing this? And I don't really see a right answer to this. By the way, do remember that seconds before this, he was talking to Reiner and Falco. What happened to them? I would question whether Reiner survived or not, but at this point, there's no way that he died. I mean, who are we kidding? North Korea could freaking nuke him and he still survived somehow. He's like a cockroach. On the other hand, I'm not so sure about Falco. Just minutes before this reveal, Reiner had pretty much given up. What would happen going forward if Falco got killed by this launch? Are we gonna have the Armor Titan versus the Attack Titan round 3 next chapter? Or who knows, Reiner could run away. If they were smart about it, maybe Mikasa or Levi could eat Reiner. And then forget about the Armor Titan, we still haven't even seen the Warhammer Titan. I mean, talk about missed opportunity, that would have been perfect for chapter 100. Then again, it seemed like Willy just died. I still give him that low 2% chance that he's alive. I really think that Willy's gonna do what Reiner did in the past, somehow surviving and going Warhammer Titan on his ass. So that's what's coming up next chapter. The Warhammer Titan finally versus the Attack Titan. Although there still is a question about whether Willy was really the Warhammer Titan holder. Some people do think that it was his guard, or perhaps another family member. And if that's the case, they'll definitely have to show up now. Anyway, let me know what you think so far. What the hell is Eren's plan? Does he even have one at this point? And on the topic of plans, what was Willy's plan? Was Willy simply trying to unite everyone and take the founding Titan? Some people were thinking that the Tiber family was responsible for the attack 4 years ago on Paradise Island. Whether it was or wasn't, a lot of the stuff that Willy was doing didn't really make sense. He seemed to be pro-Eldian, but at the same time he really hated himself for having the devil's blood. This chapter also made it seem like Willy was the type of guy who believed in the ends justify the means type of mentality. In the end, next chapter he's either going to be confirmed dead, he's going to go Warhammer Titan on his ass, or perhaps another option, something to do with that mystery Asian clan. Next up, at the beginning of this chapter we got confirmed Pieck and Porco got captured and not eaten yet. The question still remains, by who exactly? Were they Eren's allies? Some people that Zeke knows? The Ackerman clan? All we really know right now is that they're not dead. Pieck also made another mention about how she remembered that guy's face. Was it Coney? Levi? Also, do notice a little bit of info she dropped here. Pieck mentioned how there's a couple of these holes inside of Marley. So these humongous holes must have used in the past to capture the other shifters. Or I guess she was calling them warriors. But seeing that Pieck and Porco are supplied with food and even a toilet, it seemed more like someone wanted to get them out of harm's way. And that person, I really think had to be Zeke. This chapter we saw him in one panel only, very far away from the festival. I think this gives us a 99% chance that Zeke is working with Eren. I'm pretty sure it was Zeke that came up with the plan to get rid of the other two. That way he could keep them safe, for now. The question about Zeke right now would be, why is he very far away from the festival? And I know, last chapter I got a lot of people asking, why would Zeke work with Eren? Why would these two team up after the history they share? Well, I really think that Zeke has a temporary truth going on. Zeke seems to want the founding titan for this mystery plan of his, and to do that, he has to work with Eren. Mr. Donkey Kong over here is getting ready to backstab Eren soon. You might even see it next chapter. Next up, let's talk about Willie's little speech. So in this chapter, even though there was a lot of talking, it didn't really give us a lot of new information, especially compared to the previous chapter. The biggest piece of information was about Ymir's daughters. There's been that popular fan theory going around for a while that the walls were named after 3 sisters, and I was definitely one of the ones in that camp. Here, Willie revealed Maria, Rose, and Sina to be Ymir's daughters. But, is it actually true? Honestly, there's so much false information, or potential false information. I'm just gonna assume it's true for now. Now, what does this mean about Ymir? It honestly could be huge. Let's now talk about that whole interaction between Eren and Reiner. Oh, and Falco too. Poor little Falco, he ended up getting deceived by Eren. Pretty unfortunate for him, although I really like this parallel to what the Warriors did in the past, with Reiner deceiving them. And all at the same time while this is happening, you just see Reiner's expression. He knows it. And about Eren's love letter. You guys seen my video about it, 5 different places that letter was going to. It's funny how a bunch of people are saying it was the stupidest idea that the letter would be going to Eren's allies. So what now? It still is a mystery about whether it was going to Levi, Hanji, or potentially some of the other nations going against Marley. But either way, that is now confirmed? I guess a different option could have been Zeke, so there's that too. What was pretty interesting to see in this interaction was Eren pretty much or almost forgiving Reiner. In this past month or so, Eren has pretty much mirrored what the Warriors were doing on Paradise Island. He's infiltrated Marley, living with the enemy for a while, so now he understands both sides. There was even that line about Eren not wanting to gruesomely kill Reiner. It really shows how much Eren has grown up during the 4 years. And honestly, this new Eren feels like a completely new person. I think Eren's supposed to be like 19. It really feels like it's someone that's in their mid-20s at the least. And surprisingly, even though Reiner is kind of forgiven, he still blames himself for everything that happened. He admits to Eren that it's his fault that his mom died, that the invasion still happened, and really, like we've seen in the other chapters, this guy is ready to die. I do see Reiner dying by the end of Attack on Titan. Unfortunately, he still has to suffer a little bit more. In the end of all of this, Eren has already decided what to do next. It doesn't matter that Reiner is sorry for what he did and wants to die. It doesn't matter that Willie's ashamed of being an Eldian and supposedly wants to save them all. Eren has decided to continue advancing. He's a freaking Attack Titan, aka the Advancing Titan. Alright, so be sure to chime in with your own thoughts down below as we get into the negatives. So far I've seen a lot of people be disappointed with this chapter, and I can't really blame them. For the big chapter 100, I did expect a lot more. There's still so many questions. Where are the scouts? We've only seen Eren after 4 years. Has Armin gotten taller? Has Mikasa gotten buffer? Levi's gotta be close to 40. Oh yeah, and where the heck is Annie? We don't even know who cut the rope from the previous chapter yet. The only little bit of information we did get was Eren being in contact with them. Oh yeah, and how about the Warhammer Titan? I definitely think that was a missed opportunity. He should have been revealed this chapter. As it stands right now, potentially if it was Willie, we may never see the Warhammer Titan. That'd be awful. And so based on all of this for myself, I am a little disappointed, although I don't mind what's going on. The only issue is that waiting a month for all of these chapters is freaking long. Honestly, these last couple of chapters, there hasn't been much going on visually. It seems to be going slowly. The pace of Attack on Titan has felt more fitting for a weekly series. On the other hand, you know I definitely keep myself busy, so chapter 101 is going to be like in a week for me. And either way, I care much more about seeing this animated one day. Anyway, I want to hear from you now. What did you think? Did you love chapter 100? Did it live up to what you were hoping for? Are you disappointed about the somewhat slow pace of this arc? What were you hoping to see this chapter? Did any of your predictions come true? And the most important thing is, where is Annie? If you enjoyed my breakdown on this chapter, definitely give this a colossal thumbs up. And also do subscribe, especially if you love my Attack on Titan videos. And speaking about Attack on Titan, do check out my new video series where I break down the entire Great Titan history. Part 2 is coming soon, and I'll see you guys later.